Did you know that if you were to compare Kerwin to a cannibal, Kerwin would be driven into a rage and start a fight she can't win? It's Rimworld. Welcome back to Cauliflower Valley. Unfortunately had to miss a day. There was a slight problem that has now been resolved, and we've been able to come back to things pretty much exactly as we left off. In fact, I don't think there's any significant change from where we last left off, which is really super good news, actually. Today, the word of the day is preparation. Our ship is close to completion. We've got one more of these crypto sleep caskets, which I can definitely say, being completed by Robot Buddy II down there. And then we've got these 3 engines to attach to the top. But launching it is still a bit of a ways off, because if we were to be attacked by, say, I don't know, all of the things, we probably get overwhelmed fairly quickly, and there's a few extra bits and pieces that we can take care of. I suppose the question really that needs answering is, what do we actually mean by preparation? Largely, the first thing on the list is going to be, I actually want to test out this auto mortar. Automatic mortar and rangefinder capable of processing simple coordinates and weather conditions to deliver a constant bombardment of preloaded mortar rounds. We've got a few of these mechanoid components sitting around, I believe. Yes, we've got 6. So I think it's about time we started putting them to good use and setting up a couple of mortars, in particular automatic ones. It's going to do a couple of things for us. First of all, it means that if we get sieged, we can return fire. Second of all, it means that we can actually start putting the Steel Hell prototype here to use. It would be quite nice to actually get this research here finished. Thirdly, there is probably something else that we want to maybe look at building from our defensive options available via Rim Atomics. Tesla coils, maybe not. ADS, on the other hand, an active denial system, non-lethal directed energy weapon designed for area denial and crowd control, heats the skin of targeted human subject, causing them to break rank and flee. That could be tremendously useful. The Punisher is a railgun, able to launch sabot projectiles to extreme velocities and ranges. Not too sure what the Obelisk is, but the fact that it costs 10,000 silver means that it's a little bit out of our price range. There's a Mad Deer. Oh, there's several Mad Deer, incidentally, but they're all asleep. Oh no, they've woken up. Well, sure, there's Mad Deer. Where was I? Yes, weapons. The Marauder, extremely expensive. And then energy shields we've actually got taken care of. Or theoretically would have taken care of. We've got... Where are they? Yes, they've got the small shield generator and the large shield generator here. So, we'll start with that ADS. And we can start that project whilst we're waiting for the Hell cannon prototypes to get finished. Because, you know, we can kind of do both at the same time. That's multitasking for you. How many deer are there? Is this something we should be worried about? There are 6 deer. No, we'll be fine. All that said and done, you know, we're not going to be doing anything for as long as we have no steel. And no steel seems to be our current state of existence. We're running 5 deep drills at the moment. We got 1 on plasteel, 2 on steel. Where's the 5th one? Ah, the 5th one's up here getting gold. So we have got 2 on steel. I think that's probably actually fine. It's more just a case of allowing the time for the steel reserve to get back to where it is. It's been absolutely slammed by the fact that we've been building this ship. So, as well as preparation work, I think a lot of today is just going to be a bit of waiting. Resource consolidation. What would be super nice is maybe, I don't know, a bulk goods trader swinging by, saying hello. I think these cannons are going to deal with these deer. I presume our auto cannons are going to deal with the deer. As Zarish starts a social fight with Nacho, that's not a fight you're going to win. Nacho compared Zarish to a lobster, which drove Zarish into a rage. Well, you have got certain lobster-like qualities, Zarish, you know, but you're not winning this fight. You're really not, yeah. That's gone. You got bit on the leg, so you think about that. You shuffle yourself over to the hospital whilst you think about that. I don't know why I'm suggesting you were the one that caused that fight, Zarish. You weren't. You just responded to being insulted, and now you're hobbling to the hospital, and you are actually bleeding. You've got tar blood, haven't you? So yes, tar-like blood. It impedes your movement. You are very slow. making a bit of a mess of things, all told. At least you're not one of these deer. It's, at least that's something. I'm going to switch this cornfield over to berries. I'd really, really like it if we got some desserts around here, just to really, really help people settle in for the long haul. You know, with that ship being there, the temptation, the possibility of leaving is surely going to affect some hearts and minds. So we just want to make life that little bit better if we can. And replacing corn with berries so we can put some desserts together is what I think an appropriate response to that. You know, you'd want to stay somewhere that's got nice desserts. I actually wouldn't really be too bothered. I don't particularly have that much of a sweet tooth. And to be honest with you, combining chocolate and berries doesn't sound particularly nice to me. But let's assume that this lot absolutely would go for it. Especially Kerwin. Because if Kerwin hasn't got a sweet tooth, then what do they have? Should we finish fixing you? You're fine. You've just not got a nose or an eye, a little bit of your tongue. Otherwise, you're actually in perfect health. You're a picture of health, in fact, Kerwin. Especially with the immortality thing you've got going on. I suppose it would probably be at least a little bit pleasant of us to actually ask Trollpants to put a word of healing on Zarish. Again, Zarish didn't really suffer these wounds because of anything other than being called a lobster and responding to that in a rational way. We're up to being able to construct a prototype ADS, and you might be able to see just behind the big message there as well. I was getting a little bit antsy and realised that we are sitting on a comfortable supply of cloth. So added a splash of colour. Yeah, we'll go with that. Added a splash of colour, except to Kerwin's bedroom, of course. Can't be having colour in there. Added a splash of colour to most of the bedrooms that we've got going on. They're actually still carrying on down here. Oh, Zarish hasn't really got colour either. They're actually still just putting the finishing touches on the bedroom belonging to Zed as it goes. I've just kind of gone for a... I've tried to match the colour of their armour. That's what's going on here. Not too sure I really like the way that Sinatra's urine yellow has turned out, but you know what, Sinatra? That's what happens if you wear yellow. You get a yellow carpet. Kalani's I'm a big fan of. The green and orange colour scheme that Kalani's got going on, just very, very much aware of the aesthetics is Kalani, you know? And Nacho is actually invisible in this room now, but for her ridiculously long hair. That's something to think about. But yeah, colours aside, wonderful colours aside, probably have a look at this ADS. I've kind of just earmarked this little area here to potentially put it down. It lives in Rimatomics and ADS, right? ADS. There she is. So if we were to put it here, we could, like, in theory at least, it doesn't require line of sight. So anyone coming in, we could actually disrupt them somewhat. So yeah, I think we'll pop the prototype there. See what that looks like. Probably going to need to test it on people, aren't we? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You know, for all of the black carpet that Kerwin's got going on in here, I actually think this one probably looks the best. So good job, Kerwin. Something else we could do, seeing as we're reclaiming a bunch of marble, is we can get some art going on. Kalani is our resident artist. Again, you know, it's the aesthetics that enable Kalani to do what they do. It'll probably take them a little while to actually get all of the art that we've just queued up put into place, but they, you know, they'll get there. We've only asked for 21 small sculptures made out of marble, so hop to it, Michelangelo Kalani. What are you? These regalids. There's quite a lot of these guys in the Imperium, isn't there? Yeah, you move fast. Good grief. All right, simmer down. I will not watch you go to the loo. They've got this interesting trait, Natural Leader. And they can temporarily boost the working speed of someone else that doesn't have the gene, which is kind of cool. They've also got the great melee there, which would be pretty nice. But what I'm actually looking for... I mean, we're not going to really be able to do anything with any of the genes that our guests have unless we suddenly decide to start going down a direction that, so far, we've kind of avoided. Nevertheless, it would be nice to get some more genes on the go, and for that, we might need to look at capturing someone from the next set of unlucky souls that deign to attack us, assuming they've got any genes at all, and, you know, survive whatever onslaught we throw at them. I need another non-newsworthy moment. The ship's complete. We could actually start it up if we were that way inclined. It would take 15 days from the second we press this button. but we will be assaulted if we were to do that. And whilst the threats that we've had to deal with up till now have been largely fine, and we've kind of just get by and, you know, we're chilling. If I press that button and say, I don't know, 70 mechanoids just rain from the sky, then that would be a problem. And it could happen. Because things have been getting more threatening as time goes on. And as time continues on, they're only going to get worse and worse. And pressing that button there, that big lightning bolt such as it is, it's got a chance to start the end of days, for good or ill. And if we're going to do that, we want to make sure we're ready for it. And right now, we're not. What it does mean, though, is that our steel reserves should stop being so terrible, because, you know, we've kind of built the main thing that was eating them all. We're going to need to start putting some mortar shells together, too. And I've only just sort of remembered that that's the thing that we're going to need to start putting together. Let's keep 50 is probably a bit too much. Well, no, maybe not. Let's keep 50 of these bad lads on hand at all times. I think we'll just roll with the high explosives. There's no reason to get excited and creative about it. If we want to launch something from point A to point B, when it lands at point B, we want it to go boom. The question really is, where are we going to store these high explosive shells? I'm actually kind of thinking here might be a good little mortar zone, or maybe here. You know, we'll actually get some shells put together before we start thinking about that, shall we? That's not a bad idea at all. You know, something I think here is going to probably be where our mortars go. Let's, how big is the cannon that we're intending on using here as it goes? The auto mortar. Oh, it's tiny. Wonderful. Well. Let's build ourselves a mortar battery then. I think 4. 4 is probably going to be enough. Being particularly careful here, like out of character careful. I'm going to remove this wire because I want to store the shells where they're currently building the walls and things here. But I don't want one of these wires to accidentally cause those shells to explode. So yeah, we're going to get rid of these wires. That's what we're going to do. What's actually moving the wires is kind of going to be annoying. Will it be... No, commit to it. Commit to it. I really wouldn't want to regret this decision. Maybe we... Well, they've done it now, so we're committed. This is incredibly painful, though. You know, let it not be said otherwise. And it going. Click, click, press X. Click, click, press X. Click, click, press X. I'm going to stop. That's driving me insane. It wasn't as painful as I was making it out to be either. It's important to add a little bit of drama to the mundane, I think. And that's what I'm all about. And there it is, our first auto mortar. How absolutely wonderful. So how does this thing work? Because it doesn't look like I've got a means of... Oh, wow, the range on it's terrible. Okay. Or is that the... Yeah, all right, I see now. I see the issue here. Right, we're gonna go ahead and just scrap this entire project, and we're gonna think of something else. Well, no, we're not gonna scrap the entire project, but we're not gonna be using those. What about artillery? Or maybe we see if we can find ourselves some reinforced barrels and just go for traditional mortars. That might actually be the play. Yeah. We'll leave that for now. We've constructed the prototype ADS, in other news. So what does gathering weapons data for this? Test fire the ADS on living targets to gather weapons data. Sure. Oh, we could test it on that Mega Sloth. So if we were to grab, say, Athos here, man the sacks, and then that means we can now set a force target on the Mega Sloth, and look at it go. Oh, it hates it. It hates it so very much. Wonderful news. Cool. What about that efficient mouse? Can we make the efficient mouse run away? Yes. There it goes. Right? You are going to... It's actually still just going for the Mega Sloth. Yeah, okay. Stop the forced attack. Right, try it there. And yes, they don't like that little area at all. Oh, it's even got a nice little sort of... we can see where exactly is being hit by that. That's cool. The only thing is that we can't fire this if someone's not sitting at the station, such as Athos is here, so that's something to be thinking about. But hey, we know it works. Could we just set it to, like, continuously fire there, I wonder? We kind of can't at the moment because we've got this deep drill, but I wonder if we could do that. That's probably worth testing. The important thing for now is that it works, and it's got lovely woodland camo, so, you know. Yeah, we've got weapons data to collect on the ADS and the health, so what's next? Well, Probably not much. We're sitting on 700 silver. We're not really in a position to do anything else on the weapons technology right now. Would really, really like a trader to show up. It's gotta be said. The members of the Exclusionary Imperium are imprisoned nearby and are willing to give us a Archetype Metabolic gene pack, which has a +1 on it. The Archetype Metabolism is super good and is probably worth going for. Never mind the additional small vanometric power cells. Where is this? Is the real question we have to be asking. It's not far enough for us to be unreasonable, actually. And I think that's probably a drop pod launch there. Do you know something? I think we go for that. Did it say how many we would have to be dealing with? Doesn't really give us much in the way of information, does it? What about if we check this? Prison camp. Doesn't really say anything at all, actually, insofar as how many enemies we'd be dealing with upon landing there. Still, going for it is absolutely on the menu. So let's drop pod it. Let's drop pod in a small squad. I think we send in Athos. Athos will be able to fast gift us back too, which would be super nice. So I think Hazel, Athos, and Nacho, we've got a job for the three of you. Let's send Sinatra too, or should we? Yeah, we should. Hazel, Athos, Nacho, and Sinatra. I think the four of them should be fine to clear a prison camp, right? Oh, hey, Kalani's finished some art. Ain't that something? All right, let's launch. Prison camp, drop the edge. Who gets this sculpture? Well, Kalani, seeing as it was the first one that you put together, why don't we, let's give it to Kalani. We could probably get rid of this marble chunk too. Our heroes have arrived. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. We've got our 4 prisoners there who are eating well, actually. Wow, they've got lavish bakes and a ruined lavish grill, some fine meals and some soup and some night milk. Night milk? Oh, okay, it's just unsettling milk. Sure, you know what? Fair enough. They haven't got any weapons on them, unfortunately, and it looks like our enemies are all just a bunch of... we've got at least 11 that we can see. They have got a mortar set up that we probably want to get rid of quite quickly, but outside of this gigantic war casket broadsword... Oh, you're in a war casket. Well, well, well. Hello there. Slightly more intimidating than anything we've seen previously. Nevertheless, let's send them in. We'll just leave the food and medicine up there for now, I think. Athos, why don't you position yourself just there? And I don't really want to do too much in the way of micromanaging here if I can help it, but I know fine when I'm going to end up doing it because I can't help myself. Something like that should do the trick here. The mortar's already being fired. Well, there goes our food and medicine. We didn't want it anyway. Right, Nacho, that mortar's got to go. Whoa, what a landing. Oh, you poor, sweet, the dumb. You straight through the torso there, Nacho. Great job. Holy moly. Okay. Athos, you have got sort of range on people here, right? And yes, you absolutely do. Sinatra and Hazel kind of don't, though. So what if we moved you two up a little bit further? There we go. Nacho's already getting to work. And that mortar should make ourselves a lovely little explosion there. We just were to jump Nacho, maybe here. My goodness, what happened there? What I want to see is this explosion. I'm just going to send Nacho on search and destroy, I think. Yeah, get after it. And 2 explosions for the price of 1. Perfection. Okay, Athos. I think chances are, in fact, Athos, Nacho, and Hazel, we probably want these lot to actually be taken care of. Nacho, you're doing okay there? No, you're really not. We should probably actually be paying a bit more attention to you. Oh, especially considering that's going to go boom with you right next to it. Oh, it's a fire foam popper. You'll be fine. In fact, better than fine. That probably helped. And they're running away. Just as Nacho goes down. Are we fine here? We're probably fine. Athos is taking a few chunks. But nothing particularly worrisome there. Are you alright, Nacho? You're fine, right? Yeah? Yeah, you're fine. Totally fine. Okay, good job. We were to take care of these solar panels. Like so. That hasn't turned off the turrets, unfortunately. Well, that's not ideal, is it? Are there any more? Am I blind? I guess they have a battery. See what's in this building. And there's our batteries. Perfect. Hey, actually, do you know what we could do? Just uninstall them. We uninstall those batteries, and all of a sudden, everything is fine. We should now... Yeah, area's now safe. Good job, team. Let's get you home. We pop the far skip option. They all just appear in the lab. Hello, welcome back. Good to see you all. The important thing there, really, is that fire spew comes with it. Well, you know something? We'll absolutely take fire spew. I was expecting something terrible, but you know, fire spew, into that. Absolutely into that. Gonna consider that nothing but successes all around. Holy moly. The reason why archaic metabolism is so good, by the way, is because it facilitates and optimizes metabolism, which improves genetic and metabolic quality, and basically it just gives you a +6 to the metabolic efficiency. It means that you can chuck a load more stuff onto someone when you're altering their genetic code to turn them into a fighting monster with blue skin or aethel. Does require archaic capsules, of which we presently have nil, but, you know, swings and roundabouts. Swings and roundabouts. Back to defenses for a second. You know what? Let's just go in and get ourselves a charge railgun here. In fact, we're going to get 2 of these. That's what we're going to do. Probably look about putting a fire foam popper of some description down there too, just because if that all goes boom, or if at least one of them goes boom, I'd rather not have the rest of them go boom. But a couple of railguns never hurt anybody. They're always good to have around. Actually, I imagine a railgun probably has hurt someone at some point. And ours will do the same. Zarish is putting the first one together for us right now. And discussing dentistry with Brenwyn there. So, sure. It might take them a while, but the 2 robot buddies will get the work done when it comes to constructing railguns. Robot Buddy the Second took over from Zarish there. 30 more points of work left. You can do it, Robot Buddy the Second. I believe in you. This one, on the other hand, you're going to be here a while, Robot Buddy the First. It's got to be said. Almost there. I'm on the edge of my seat. He's so close. There it is. Our railgun. Our first of 2. The range on that is obscene. And it could fire 90 times before we need some components to restock its ammo there, which is kind of nice. Kind of nice indeed. What else? Some charge lance turrets? We could throw some charge lance turrets down here. I don't see why we wouldn't throw charge lance turrets down here. Surprised we're not doing it right now, in fact. Probably do a little bit better work than the auto motors will. Thinking about it, that little bit of a rocket swarm launcher. See, I don't think this would necessarily be ideal for the sort of close quarters that we've got set up here. But at the same time, if we just set it up here, maybe? Oh, I don't know. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Cauliflower Valley, Wolfram. Hello there. Welcome indeed. Outlander pilgrims have arrived. Pardon? A group of children has arrived to venerate the Darklance. We ensure they're safe and respected whilst they visit the ancient relic. They may offer us a reward. Alright. Hello. Here to have a look at a gun, are you, Phoebe? Well, that's completely normal for a 8-year-old child, actually. Oh, you've got some friends here too, I see. We've also got Hey Ocean Bud and Persephone. See, I would normally say Persephone, but the accented E there's caught me off guard. What were your parents thinking? Anyway, what are you doing? Alright, we found a hole. Good enough. Welcome to Cauliflower Valley. Come and look at our gun. It is awesome. Just don't mind the gigantic... Hey, do you know something? Do you know what we should do? We should put this in a secure compound. What we should do, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this in a secure compound. We can't just be having this kind of technology lying around. I mean, we've gone this far having this kind of technology just hanging around, but no more. No more, says I. You have to come through the Kalani Grove. Hey, let's add some trees to this Kalani, actually. In fact, get yourself down here. Might as well use the crop burst while we're at it. Give us some treats, why don't you? Show us some moves. Oh, wonderful. We got some rice. Wow, I'm actually impressed that you were able to grow something normal. Good job. Let's have a tree sprout here. We're going to get some trees too? Oh, we are as well. Some teak. There we go. They've now finished venerating the Darklands and are now leaving. Well, good enough. What are you doing? Alright, Heiko Riddles. Viewing some art. Well, yes, I can understand why you'd want to view the art. It is magnificent. It is the free shape. And it shows a field, apparently. I don't think it does show a field, to be honest with you. What does this one show? This one has an illustration of Nacho lying in bed and sweating uncontrollably. It somehow expresses sadness and mercy, and takes place inside a town built near an ocean. Apparently that all refers to Nacho being poisoned. And these are the things that Athos stares at and meditates to every single day, by the way. On this carving is a portrayal of a rabbit wearing a formal suit. A boxer sits near the main subject. You just... What? Where did that come from? You alright? You've got me concerned, Athos. Why don't we have a look at how our nuclear proliferation is getting on? We could actually get 4 plutonium from this. It's got 1.5 years left of life in it. We could get a sum of plutonium from Alpha there. What about Omicron? Omicron's still got a fair ways to go before it can start giving us plutonium, I see. We're no closer to mortars. However, our turret situation is almost... Am I going to say complete? Is complete really the word I would use for this? I am. I'm gonna say complete. Yes, our turret situation is almost complete. Right now, Lianlu and the robot buddies are putting up some charge turrets. Brenwan's helping out too. Good to see. And Zarish, you know what? It's a team effort all around. And if that's not all, we're going to throw down a little bit of an obstacle course. We've got some barbed wire fences going down here, which, you know, continues to eat into our steel reserves. I miss those halcyon days of having so much steel we didn't know what to do with it all. Whereas now, it's all just a crumb of steel for the slightest bit of progress. But things are going, and things are progressing, so who am I to complain? And, you know, the ship is now in this, we'll call it compound? Yeah, this is what actually a compound is. This is what a compound looks like. There is a way in. It's hidden behind this tree. It's very inconspicuous. You'd be hard-pressed to find it. Why we've got these trees here. That's the real reason behind Kalani's contribution. Speaking of Kalani's contribution, we've got some more art to put down. How about that? We've got an excellent marble sculpture. Well, we'd best give that to Huckett, because if we don't, she'll complain and cry and, you know, do Huckett things. It's been a minute since we planted these berry bushes, but it's the 8th of August, and our first harvest is finally here. I'm pretty sure this is going to be more than enough for us to get some desserts on the go at long last. Because, well, let's be reasonable. This apple tree orchard looks lovely, but it's not growing fast at all. Trees kind of aren't really known for doing so, I suppose. But so we getting some desserts here, Aethel? Look at this. It's a lavish dessert made of berries and insect jelly. Maybe not out of insect jelly, actually, if that's right. Oh, we're not using the chocolate. We should be using the chocolate. Instead, we're using everything except the chocolate. Well, there we go. Yeah, let's just gloss over that real quick. Now we should be getting some dessert. I'm gonna consider this defensive structure, such as it is, complete for now. But what if we got attacked from the south? Well, we're gonna build another one. Right here. And work is update. Well, work has finished, in fact. Wow, they did that so fast. On mining out the extraneous bits there, so that's good. But yeah, we're just going to build another one right here. Because what indeed if we get attacked from down here? We're going to need an answer to that. Well, the more I think about this, the more I realize maybe it's unnecessary. Typically speaking, this is going to be where we hold our ground. So maybe this is a little bit overkill. Maybe we don't need this. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too paranoid about pressing this big button here. Perhaps that is the case. So maybe we'll just leave the skeleton in place as a just-in-case sort of scenario, you know? Honestly, a big part of this is just, I needed something to do. I'm not entirely certain on how we're going to go about mortars even now, because ultimately, the thing with mortars is that we need reinforced barrels in order to build them. And reinforced barrels are proving, or have proven, difficult to come by. I think we might have seen a few of them that I previously ignored, and I wish I kind of hadn't. Wish I'd collected them as and when they showed up. Whereas now, kind of wish we had the means of building them. Hello, we can't be having you here, that's for certain. And it's a good thing that we've got people here to deal with you, actually. So you know something, Feralist, Crutch Mother, we're just gonna send Nacho to have at you. So hey, how you going? Good job, Nacho. We have the structure should we need it, I guess is what we can say. I don't think we will need it, but we have it if we ended up needing it. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I hope it's not going to come to that. It'd be a terrible shame if it was to come to that. A poor marble sculpture? Indeed, we shall not be having one of those. Thank you, Kalani. Try again. One other upgrade that we should probably look at doing is our weapons here, actually. We've still got Huckett and Kerwin using the Hellcat and assault rifle there. Sinatra's still using a standard minigun. Lianlu is using a carbine. And Zed's using the Razor HMG. So, if nothing else, we should absolutely give these guys a bit of a weapon upgrade. So I think we can get after that. That's easy enough done. We'll go for a charge minigun there. That'll go to Sinatra. And then what? Do we need... I mean, do we just want charge rifles? Or is there anything a little bit more creative than that we could get going on here? No, you know something? I think we'll keep things relatively simple. We'll go for the minigun to replace Sinatra's minigun. What a sentence. We'll go for the charge minigun to replace Sinatra's standard minigun, and we'll go for 4 charge rifles for Huckett, Kerwin, Lianlu, and Zed. And then there was Athos, who is currently using a standard sniper rifle. However, Athos has had, you might be able to tell from their portrait there, a little upgrade. So let's take a quick look at what's going on here. Hello, Athos. No more will you be using the standard sniper rifle. It's done some fantastic service for you, but it's time to say goodbye. Instead, extract the Dark Lance. You just hold that into your inventory. There you go. You're now equipped with the Dark Lance. Athos is also equipped with the X1 cybernetic bodysuit, which reduces her aiming time by 50%. Does mean that she works slightly slower too, but hey, what can you do? And has the LTEX cape, because, you know, just needed that for looking cool, to be honest. Could we just test that aiming time, though? Just give us a quick shot. Okay, that is very fast. Actually. Superb. Yeah, no more shooting, thank you. We've learnt what we needed to know. Yes, Athos, you are complete. Thank you. And you look fantastic, so, you know, all's the better. Heck of a marksman is Athos, with their 12 shooting skill. That does leave this sniper rifle. And do you know something, Griffith? With your 1.68 shooting skill, at least now you've got a gun. And some armor, too, because you took over Athos' armor. But you know something about that armor, Griffith? That armor and that sniper rifle have become iconic for Athos, so I hope you do them proud. You're probably not going to, because, again, you've got 1.68 shooting. But I hope you do it proud nevertheless. Be on your way. I always forget that Griffith is actually just a 17-year-old as well. Joined us because of reasons. It's one of those anomaly joiners. Genuinely can't remember where you came from, Griffith. But you're here now. You're very intellectual. We'll give you credit where it's due. In fact, you can have an expertise. There you go. Outside of that intellect, there's not much going for you. You know something? The world didn't need this, but it now exists. And if Rimworld's about one thing, it's about arming a 12-year-old with a gigantic minigun. Good job, Apprehension. Our reactor suddenly has a green light. And I know we checked on it earlier on, but time to do another quick check on Alpha here. What does that mean, green light? It's at half of its life. Still has a year and a half before we can, you know, consider it completely burnt out, but it's kind of cool that we get that little warning there. As more green lights go on, and as Sinatra starts to fight with Zari, what happened? What did he do? Zarish made a contemptuous remark about Sinatra's nose. Does Sinatra even have a nose? Yes, they do. But nevertheless, don't talk about it in contempt. Alright? Because look what happens. What a waste of medicine. Do you know what's insane? We've gone basically all summer without a single attack. It's been incredibly peaceful. It's been quite nice because, you know, we've been doing some prep work. At long last, the tax has picked something up. Dark entities are going to attack us via land in approximately 4 days' time. Now, a lot can happen in 4 days, but equally nothing can happen in 4 days. And I think we started pretty much at the beginning of summer. We're now closing in on the end of summer here, with nothing having happened. So now that something has happened, or is going to happen, I think that's the perfect opportunity to put this to the test. Before... Now hang on a second. I'm a little bit confused about the logistics here. How are we able to detect dark entities with a... I don't remember what the tax stands for. A target acquisition and communication system. That's impressive, and I'm probably not going to question it. Back to the point. It's an opportunity for us to test out our defenses. So we'll take it. Speaking of other defenses as well, the finishing touches are being put down on this particular structure here and this particular structure here by our robot buddies. These are going to be large shield generators, one of which is already up and running here. We're going to have 2 taking care of the nuclear reactors and the cooling. So, you know, that's kind of important. And we've also got 1 taking care of the ship. On top of those, we've also got shield generators down here. Smaller ones, admittedly, but they cover all of our... Well, not all of our turrets. They don't cover the turrets that are further up. But they cover all of our main turrets, and indeed where our people are going to be sat whenever we get attacked. So once they're done, that's about it for defenses. And, you know, let's not look at the fact that we now have 7,000 steel where for ages we were desperate for steel. You know something? Let's spend some of that steel. Let's build ourselves. Let's go full Springfield here. To the point, though, yes. It's a chance for us to test all of these defenses that we've been preparing. Let's see how they get on against dark entities in 4 days' time. Yes, Brenwyn. Build the cool thing. Actually, with this cooling tower going down, we could increase the heat inside Omicron, which is good. We'll do that. Perfect. Now we're generating electricity. Barley, would you like to go and just manage Omicron for us there? Okay, so that's brought us down to 43% from, I think, 80 it was. So let's up the ante here to 90% capacity. Oh, we can definitely go whole hog on this. Let's just bring it down. I don't really like the idea of this being red for one reason or another. There we go. Oh, the shield came up when... okay. Itamu thanks us for letting her and the other Outlanders venerate Darklance and has provided us with a side trainer for Oculus route. Ain't that something? All told, we're running Omicron at 95% of its capacity now and generating 276,000 watts of power, so that's fun. And in actual fact, that's overtaken Alpha on how soon the middle of the fuel rods would need replacing. In fact, yeah, this whole middle zone is now 1.4 years. We go out to this outer ring until we start seeing 1.5s and 7s, and then the outermost ring is sort of like 3 years. Excellent work. Don't really know what we're going to do with that side trainer, if anything. Probably nothing. Ocular Sprout. Well, Kalani, why don't you use that? Is that an Alpha Animals one? It is, yes. Create a wound in reality to skip several trees from a trans-dimensional realm of pure madness. That sounds like something Kalani would be into. So, why don't we just pop those outside, Kalani? Why don't we have some trans-dimensional entities right here? Perfect. Really bring the place together. Actually, we could go for a crop burst too, why don't we? 2 crop bursts in one episode. What an absolute treat for the senses. Distress signal. Nearby camp of the Vive Covenant. Well, unfortunately, as close as you are, which is terribly close. Hey, maybe it's the dark entities. They've come through this camp owed by the Vive Covenant on their way to us. We can't really do much about that right now, though, because, you know, we have got stuff coming our way. We probably could. It's not here for 3.5 days. But no, we've got our own fish to fry, our own problems, our own witches' oysters. What have you done, Kalani? A small fungal colony with a pungent aroma. A witch's oyster produces caps that take quite a long time to deteriorate. And it makes pink fungus. Oh, it's food that lasts longer without rotting. Well, you know something? Fine, let's have some of that. Why do I use this ability? You remember when we got rice that one time and it was super excellent because it was completely normal? You're friggin' ridiculous, Kalani. Do you know that? But at least we've got this now. It's completely alien. Probably not even 100% carbon-based. It seems to be struggling to grow. Strange fruits resembling eyeballs hang from it, and its wood releases a powerful sweet scent. Excellent. That's what we've got. That's why Kalani's here. An impressive amount of very little has happened in the 4 days since the warning came that the dark entities were on their way. We added some more barbed wire fences, but we're after the point that they should have been here, and you'll notice that the warning is gone. And I'm honestly beginning to think that the attack's just not coming. And maybe that's for the best. Maybe we're too defended, and they caught wind of that. Who can honestly say at this point? But I don't think they're coming. I think it was all just a lie to keep us on the edge of our seats, like an M. Night Shyamalan film, where we spend 90 minutes thinking the monsters are coming, and then at the end it turns out the monsters were already here. What a twist. What a twist indeed. But that propels things along quite nicely, and we will end things for today as life continues here in Cauliflower Valley. An entire summer of preparation. Are we where we want to be? Not really. Are we at the best we can be under the circumstances? Sure, why not? Is there much reason to dwell on it at this point? Nah, we've got 9,500 chocolate. We're doing fine. Next time, we're going to start this ship up and see what happens. But for now, we'll leave things there. Thank you very much as always, for joining me on a particular quiet day here in Cauliflower Valley. I'll see you next time. Take care.